Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Franklin and Douglas, where we talk about current events and give you bad advice. I'm Franklin, and with me, as always, is my buddy Douglas. Double D, how's it going?
Buddy, it's going great.
I'm glad to hear that.
But yeah, like how, ooh, someone just smashed the wall really hard. uh, so how was your week, buddy?
It was good. We missed talking about the Diddy verdict.
Oh no,
And you know, I, and our friend Mel had a great spirited conversation about it.
we did.
And I was still kind of reviewing the information on there because Diddy's not getting out still probably until October if he even gets out.
Right.
But that's what I was reviewing, and then of course I listened to another great novel by Kennedy Lane. This one is the second part of the first book I listened to. Remember, I was talking to called Thirst for Sin.
Yeah,
Well, now this one is Longing for Sin. And
sounds saucy.
it's not, it really isn't. It's just it's about a serial killer, and but I don't know why they call it thirst and longing and all that, but it is a really good listen, and I have been enjoying it thoroughly. So yeah, we get a chance to listen to that. It is Thirst for Sin is the first one, and Longing for Sin is the next one, and by Kennedy Lane. So, how was your week?
Those sound like titles for my autobiographies that are coming up. No, I mean over here, just been pretty chill. We just learned, or I just learned that Cleveland, Ohio, is going to be getting a WNBA team again. I know. I
Yay.
think it's 2028 is when they're going to be starting. So pretty
Yes.
excited.
Yes, that's great.
I'm excited to see women's sports like on the rise again. We just recently had a bar open up out here that is themed around women's sports, the women's sports bar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You gotta take
so
me there. Out.
yeah, absolutely. They just opened like maybe a month or so ago. So I'm
Oh,
definitely will take you there. But yeah, I'm excited to see women's sports, like I said, in this resurgence. And I'm hoping it's the same all across the US because they work just as hard, if not harder, than the men in this
we
sport, in
do.
this
Thank
field.
you.
So
Yeah. Right. That really is exciting. I think they announced a couple of other cities as well. I think Detroit is in there.
oh,
But yeah, really excited that the WNBA is branching out more expansion teams. Our expansion team, the Valkyries out here in California, are killing it. They are amazing. They are the first expansion team that has hit over 500 million in revenue,
wow.
and they have sold out every single home game. In fact, a couple of friends and I are going at the end of this month to see them play against Dallas because I'm a huge Paige Beckers fan, and so I want to go see her. But great atmosphere. It's just like they're playing in the Chase Center, which, as everyone knows, is the home of the Golden State Warriors. But they call the stadium Valhalla, and it's great. The atmosphere is amazing. So really excited for the WNBA.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I can't wait to finally have another rivalry to cheer
Oh
on
yes,
against you. So
right, right. That is
since the
you
rest of
have to.
Cleveland's teams don't seem to do anything, but
Oh my god, that was always good. Good fun.
so on that, what do you have for us this week?
Well, today we are diving into a story that is equal parts unbelievable, horrifying, and disturbing. It's the true story of
Oh,
the yeah, of a docuseries called The Mortician. And the man at the center of it all is David Sconce. So now, if you ever wondered what happens behind closed doors of a funeral home, this story will make you think twice.
ugh,
It all begins in, yeah, buckle in.
yeah,
It all begins in Pasadena, California, beautiful Pasadena, in the early 1980s. And the
Oh,
Scone family has a family owned funeral home called Lamb Funeral Home, a trusted name in the local community. Now, David, the son, takes over operations with one thing in mind: maximizing profit.
ugh, that's how
But
they all that's how they all go downhill.
exactly, the money. But what he did wasn't it wasn't unethical. It was just illegal, grotesque, and dangerous. Okay,
Okay.
he overbooked cremations, sometimes burning. Hold on, 150 to 200 bodies in an industrial size oven meant for one or two.
Oh my god.
He broke bones to make them fit,
Oh,
mixed in ashes, and even harvested dental gold from the deceased. So basically, in this series, they tell about how they would pull the gold teeth out of people's mouths, and any jewelry or anything that they had on them. They would take that stuff and pawn it and sell it or whatever. So it gets worse, way worse. Reports show he even reused caskets, stored bodies inappropriately, and even plotted violence against competitors. So, yes. And there's even a part where, he supposedly unalived, or had one of his competitors, had a hit out on him and killed him.
oh my
So,
goodness.
yeah, I didn't know the funeral business was so mobster.
Right. It,
And
I don't know. So like the gold teeth part, I'm like, they're not gonna take it where they're going. Like, might as well do
well,
something with
actually,
it.
they do need it because they have to pay off the gatekeeper when they go through purgatory.
Yeah. That's what the gold teeth are for?
Exactly. They have to have something, or if they don't have any gold teeth, when you bury them or when you cremate them, you have to give them money. And so that they have something to go through.
You
You're
put
still
like
paying. You're
coins in
still
their
paying
hand or
when you
their eyes
die.
or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that they can pay. So
Well, I'll be sure
now
to
the
slip a
only,
dollar bill underneath your fingers when you go.
I'm not getting anywhere with a dollar. Okay.
You can take the public transportation.
Oh, never. And so the only reason David got caught was because authorities say David's crematorium caught fire in 1985. How ironic.
Right.
Revealing a disturbing mass of remains. So now when they go into, after they get the fire out, they go into the building, to, go through everything. Apparently, when they started like digging through and where the ovens, basically they opened up some of the ovens and there were still body parts in there.
Oh,
Okay, hundreds of body parts. And I mean, they were just, what hadn't burned was falling out. Bones were just coming out of this place, right, out of this oven. And so the unveiling and unraveling, rather, of all of this, is that the neighbors were complaining about this thick, greasy smoke
oh,
and foul smell,
ugh.
right?
Yeah.
So when inspectors got involved, they uncovered improperly handled remains at the cemetery, at the crematorium, and then the lawsuits started, obviously, from families who were given ashes that didn't belong to their loved ones. So,
Right.
you get your ashes back, and it could have been a mix of anybody, anything, and it to listen to these people talk, it was heartbreaking because
Yeah.
a lot of the ones that were shown were people that had died after be it a cancer, and they had been with their loved ones for so many years, in this relationship, and then they just died, and then they hand their body off to someone that they hope will take care of them for their final journey,
Hmm.
and they get back a bunch of ashes that they don't even know if it is their loved ones, right?
Right.
And so authorities believe there's an estimated 20,000 families affected by
Wow.
this. So it's not just the scandal, it's the betrayal, at the deepest level. David states once they're cremated, they're not people anymore. They're ashes.
I mean, that's how I feel about it. But at the same time,
Yeah, I'm
you
like,
pay
I'm
for
on,
something.
I'm listening to him, and I'm like, yeah. Like one of former employees says in the series, he saw the dead as inventory. Now that's where I kind of here, that's where I draw the line.
Right.
And but I mean, as someone, my father was cremated, and
Mhm.
so and the funny thing is I don't recall if we received his ashes. I think they're at the what do you call it, the crematorium or the mortuary that they have.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know when I've gone to see him, I'm assuming his ashes are in there,
Right.
but you think about it, and for him, he was very matter of fact in the series that you know, they're dead. It really doesn't matter what we do now, but that's not for him to make that
Right.
decision,
Right.
right? And so that's what people are trying to get across is that, we paid you for a service. And he was just raking in the money because apparently, it was $200 to $400 per person. And you think about he was just doing hundreds and hundreds of bodies, just
Yeah.
burning them and scooping up the ashes and like, here you go, here you go, here you go.
You get some ashes, you get some ashes.
You get some ashes, you get ashes. I don't know whose ashes they are.
Right.
And
Oh,
so obviously people are mortified to know that Aunt Betty could be Aunt June, could be Aunt Sylvia, anybody. And so the legal fallout, it had created new regulations in California, stricter oversight, laws against gold removal from the bodies,
mhm.
and ethics training for morticians. You think?
I
But
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it's already an expensive practice too. I mean, someone that's had to, like, see the cost of having a family member, that we had
mhm,
cremated in that, like,
right.
I the amount of money that he must have been raking in on
Oh,
that.
they lavish. Okay. Now, the
Mhm.
one thing is that his mother was involved as well. She knew about it also. And so, yeah, I mean, burial is a lot more expensive than cremating someone, but it's still a high cost.
Mhm.
And just the fact, that you don't know what you have, right?
Right.
And so someone who now I like again, I don't know where my father's ashes are, but when I had to cremate my poor little fur babies, I do have their ashes, and now I'm like, hmm, is this Jack Jack or is this something else?
You got a little bit of Fifi and a little bit of Spot in there too?
Exactly. So,
Oh.
but yeah, they, obviously people, this is the most vulnerable time for people.
Mhm.
And where they are now saying their final goodbyes to their loved ones and entrusting that they hand over their body, the last part of them to someone. And this is how they treat them.
Yeah.
And regardless if he felt like it was inventory or they're dead, doesn't matter anymore. It's how you treat a person's body at the end of their life. And for them just to be thrown into an oven with hundreds of other people is so disturbing and
Yeah.
so very sad, to think that that's what happened. They the people's trust was shattered
Mhm.
because they entrusted this man. I paid you money for a service, and this is what you did,
Right.
right? And so, what the mortician does is captures, the darker side of this business. Um, the emotional wreckage and the betrayal. It really touches on all of it because again, some of these people were just like lost for words of and they were showing their ashes like, "I don't even know who this is,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And again, once a person has passed, you keep their memories more so. But if you've requested to have those ashes, and some people said that they took the ashes and scattered them in a favorite place of their loved one,
Mhm.
but now they're like, I don't know who I scattered,
They
you
took
know?
someone else's Aunt Betty out to Hawaii and sprinkled her.
Right,
She's like,
and
"Yes,
right,
I've never
right,
been."
and and some people, really and truly believe in that afterlife and, that the body and the soul is, it's stuck or whatnot, but it's like, you know, do they believe that their loved one is, stuck somewhere or hasn't really truly crossed over because
Yeah.
they have, they're mixed with all these other people. And they, obviously once you've passed and we don't know the afterlife, but it is a comforting thought to think that, you have someone that was close to you and you have a part of them, their ashes, and to realize that it's not them.
Mhm.
Ooh, it's so devastating. It's so heartbreaking. And what makes it truly disturbing is he has no remorse of what he did.
Yeah.
N- you know, Not once does he apologize or talk about these acts as and just kind of say, okay, maybe I overstepped and the money took over. Not once did he do that. He was just so matter of fact about it. He's like, nobody cares. They're dead. That's just how he was just out there saying. I'm like, David. Now, mind you, he didn't get he did go to prison, but it wasn't for that. It was just
No.
for some laws that he broke. So it was, I think he just like got misdemeanor or whatnot. But it he's out. He's out of prison. And just living his life. And it is a very dark, dark series.
Yeah.
And so again, The Mortician. It's streaming on HBO Max, and fair warning, it's not for the faint of heart. It really isn't. And to listen to it, to watch it, and all through the series, I was like,
Yeah.
and it is, yeah, it's deep. And again, to see that how he just was so callous of how he treated people's bodies after they're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, just and you get to see some of the video of them removing. I don't want to give it too much away, but yeah, it's horrible.
Like,
So
oh, I
right.
know.
So as your final years are going, get all your gold teeth taken out of your mouth.
Right.
Don't go now. Is when I was younger and my mother passed away, I didn't cremate her, I buried her, but I was I was living somewhere else when she died.
Mhm.
And sure enough, I called my family members back and was like, get all her rings, and I gave them inventory of exactly what she had on,
Yeah.
because I your mother. But and I was like, get all of that, make sure it's all still there, because again, they're in these places by themselves. And yeah, people have sticky fingers. So
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's I think we were very lucky because when my dad passed, like, we did receive back any jewelry or anything that we had, on him when
right,
they were displaying the body, what have you. So, but I mean, yeah, that's insane. You regardless of what your thoughts are on the afterlife, what have you, like, my opinion is totally different than someone else's, but, like, you paid for a service, like you said, you want that service to be carried out for what you paid for, especially the price. I mean, the price
right.
of dying is insane.
Hmm.
And then, you don't get the product in the end, which, I mean, it sounds very cold saying it that way, but, you
And
know
that's what I'm saying. It's like he thought of it as inventory.
yeah.
Exactly. You know,
And even
Even after
so
after death, you're still paying bills.
yeah, yeah. Like, even so if it's inventory, like, I still when I go shopping somewhere, like, I wanna get what I paid for, like, and that's inventory.
Right.
But,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I'm picturing just stuffing, like, with a broom handle, all these
And that's
bodies that they
exactly
killed,
what they were doing, just throwing bodies in this oven.
which is like a
Hundreds.
fire hazard in itself.
Hence why it burned down, because
Yeah.
they had to turn up the fire a lot to get all of this going. And he was just out there still hustling for more bodies.
Listen, this is why I say I think it was my brother-in-law, says that when he dies, he wants to be buried face down in the dirt and to put a a seed tree in his butt. So he has
Mm,
a tree growing on his ass when he's dead.
I'm dumbfounded.
But, returning your body to the earth and, you know, helping feed the other plant life out there. And then you don't have to
Okay.
worry about you
The
know,
circle of life.
being mixed
The
up
circle of life.
with the MAGA neighbor down the street, mixed that with your ashes.
Ooh. Now that would be funny.
And then like in the afterlife when that happens is like, are you kind of like pieced together with other people? So you got like 4 arms, 2 heads, you and this other person you're mixing with.
Exactly. Right? I got a MAGA head and a black
Yeah.
body. I don't know. That's yeah, it's disturbing and it's like again, for the morbid, and then you think about it, I'm like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
then I'm like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
for him to do that because he wasn't doing it, he was doing it for money and he wasn't doing anything else but for money, you know. And it just and the people that he had working for him, they were all in on it too,
The
they
thing,
knew
all
what
those people like were
they
complicit.
because because money, they were getting the money, and they
Insane.
were out there, bumping off the competition, and taking people out because everybody was trying to figure out how is he getting this done, because again, hundreds, hundreds,
Yeah.
and they were all trying to figure out because they all know, what it takes and how long it takes because, once you cremate the body, you gather everything up and they explain this to him and it's like the time frame.
Mhm.
And, they do say that yes, there may be some other ashes still, lingering, but not that amount. I mean,
Right.
not where it's going to overshadow the initial body. There might be still particles because they have to vacuum out the oven, they clean it out, and there still might be, ash residue,
Yeah.
but to this extreme, no. And so, yeah, what how it burned down was, I guess, the little crackheads he had working there were, they shoved all the bodies in there. They went to go smoke and do whatever and left it, and boom, place burned down. Ash, body ash, just going through the air.
And if it didn't burn down, it could have still been going on today.
Right. Yeah. He could have
Yeah.
still been doing it because, again, no one was the wiser.
Yeah.
No one knew what was going on except for the people that, his competition that he bumped off. So they weren't going to tell anybody. He
Right.
threw them in the oven as well. So,
Oh.
yeah. So, what advice would you have for anybody who's thinking of doing anything crazy like that?
Well, as always, we want to remind our audience that we are not trained professionals and we are not trained morticians either. So
Well, aren't we?
I watched a YouTube video or two. Uh,
Right.
and our
We
advice
can
should
do
not be
that.
taken seriously. But what qualifications do we have, Franklin?
Well, we survived the Castros 2 for one night without getting swooped up by David and get taken to the crematorium
Uh,
in that white van so we can lead you through life's challenges. Hit me with it.
I thought it was weird the big pile of ashes that were in the back of that van, right next to
Didn't
the
you?
candy that he tried to tempt
Right.
us
I
with.
was like, what is that?
So today we're gonna be pulling our questions from Reddit's "Am I the Asshole" category.
You are.
Thanks. I'll be sure to put that on my tombstone. Uh, if you would like us to answer your request for advice, please DM us in our socials or comment. Maybe your question will appear in our next episode. So, am I the asshole for not wanting to participate in my husband's family's death teeth ritual? And that's teeth, Teeth,
Tea.
Teeth, including the gold ones. So, my husband's family has an extremely bizarre set of rituals surrounding death and funerals. They're from Wales, which is, over the pond, as
Oh,
they
isn't that
call it.
the Prince of Wales?
Prince of
Is that
Wales.
William?
Yeah.
The
Well,
Williamstown?
I don't think this is about William, but yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
They're from Wales, but I don't think this is a cultural thing, and I haven't been able to find a basis for it, even anything remotely similar from a cultural or religious background. I think they might be just a bunch of weirdos. I mean, who isn't?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So here goes. In my husband's family, before a corpse of a recently deceased family member is buried, They will have all of their teeth of the deceased knocked out and will give one tooth to each of their living relatives to keep with them
Nope.
in a fabric pouch. Uh,
Nope.
yeah, which they're meant to keep with them. They even have a system of how they decide which family member gets which tooth based on the proximity to the deceased. So any teeth that the deceased has collected themselves over their life is added into an ornate chest, which is literally filled with thousands of human teeth. Apparently, this goes back many generations.
Disgusting. So it's this jar of teeth.
A box, like a big box of teeth. Like, anyway, so I
Okay.
found out about this tradition about a year after I got married to my husband at his grandmother's funeral when my mother in law gave me a pouch with one of her molars.
Oh, and she was like, "What the hell is
Yeah.
this?"
I mean, she must not have been that close if she got a molar, right? She didn't get one of the
Right.
front teeth. But my husband got very upset when I told him I didn't want to participate in this ritual. At the time, I was only talking about not wanting to carry around his family members' teeth, but evidently it's expected that after I die, they'll knock out my teeth to be distributed to the family members. He asked me whether I would really deny my children the ability to have something to remind them of me after I pass away or to feel left out of their cousins.
Oh no, I'm not carrying your teeth around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to be understanding and polite, and other than this, his family is lovely. But to me, this whole
They're
practice,
lovely.
yeah, they're great people, except for all the teeth they wear on their neck. But to me, this whole practice seems completely fucking insane. I don't want my teeth knocked out and distributed to a bunch of random relatives, and there's
Right.
no way in hell that my side of the family will understand or accept this. So, am I the asshole for not accepting this? Based on how our last conversation went, I think he's considering divorce.
Uh, Girl, run.
Yes.
Run for the hills. Yeah. And take your teeth with you.
That's what, like,
I have
oh,
that's disgusting.
yeah. Like, if you have a gold tooth, like, who gets to claim the gold tooth?
Yeah, it's gotta be somebody really important in the family that gets that.
So, what are your
I
thoughts?
mean, I again, that's pretty weird. And who's taking the teeth out? Is the mortician taking the teeth out for them? The doctor taking the teeth? How do you go up to, the doctor as they're embalming you? Hey, can you grab all the teeth for us? Because we distribute those teeth to everybody in the family.
Ugh.
And he's like, what? And they have to get them cleaned and whatnot. That's disgusting.
I mean,
That's disgusting.
how
And then
different?
you're like you're looking at it and you're like, Aunt Betty didn't floss
Yeah.
because here's just corn still
What?
stuck into this tooth I got
You must be really
in
hating
this
if you get the
molar.
one with the cavity in it.
Ugh, ugh. Yeah, no, she's not, and she needs to run for the hills and put in her will just in case he tries to come back. Do not take my teeth out. Do not give them to my husband's family.
Hey, first of all, this, like, I don't know why this makes me think of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre for some reason, but it makes me think of like a horror movie or something. But
Right, just
uh,
somebody with some pliers digging in your mouth, snatching teeth out. Going, here you go. You get a tooth. You get a tooth.
and then do they just hand him out at the funeral? Like,
In little satches,
this
little
is for you.
satin
This is for
pouch.
you.
And you're thinking you're getting, and you're looking at it and you're like, why is there a tooth in here, Bob? Yeah.
So, like, when they like, so let's say, they're laying you out for people to, like, pay their respects or whatever. Like, do they put in some false teeth in your mouth, or do they
Well, your mouth is closed, but then also they have to have something because otherwise it's just gonna, cave in, right?
sink in? Yeah, so
Mm,
they put like an old dirty sock in your mouth and then sew it up. So
why
like,
is it gotta be an old dirty sock?
just pulled it right off your feet when they found you dead.
They should just leave one tooth in there, so and you just have that one tooth hanging out, and they have their mouth open.
Old chomper.
Okay,
uh,
gross.
but like, how? Okay, so how is this any different than getting your family's ashes, though?
Okay, the ashes are one thing, but to actually have someone they're pulling the teeth out
Yeah.
and then giving it to family members. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, the ashes. Some people take a little bit and put it in a little vial around their neck, and they're
Yeah.
carrying it around. That I think that's extreme as well. But I don't know the teeth,
Yeah.
and they're just handing them out in a little pouch.
And then you collect
I
them
guess
over
yeah, you're
time.
right, and so you just got a whole. And so, what if somebody makes dentures with these teeth? They start losing teeth, and they're like, "Oh, I got an extra one. I got a spare. Here, use this.
Hold on, what is this? A molar? I think I got 2 of those.
I got 2 of those." And yeah, no, no, don't worry about it. Here, you don't have to make a plastic one. I got a real one here.
Oh,
Gross.
yeah. All right. So the next one I have here is, am I the asshole for telling my coworker I can't attend her funeral because I'm busy that day? So,
Well, she's dead, so who cares?
well, it's not technically that. We're going to find out here. So
Oh, okay.
here's the situation. I have this coworker. Let's call her Karen. Karen
Of
is a
course.
character. She's always talking about these elaborate plans for every possible scenario. Last week, she told us she had pre planned her entire funeral, complete with a guest list, catering, and even a DJ. Apparently, she wants her final send off to be a lit celebration of life.
Go ahead.
I mean, I get that. I get that. So, anyway, out of the blue yesterday, Karen walks up to me during lunch and says, "Hey, just so you know, I've penciled you in for my funeral next Saturday at 2 p.m. It's going to be fabulous, and I'd really appreciate your attendance." Now,
So is she gonna die next time? I don't understand. Or is it just a party, a funeral party?
yeah, that's what it
Okay.
sounds like. So, now here's
Okay.
the thing, I'm alive and kicking. So, the idea of attending a funeral for someone who's very much alive just felt weird. Plus, I already have plans next Saturday to
Yeah.
to binge watch an entire season of Stranger Things and eat my weight in pizza.
I
I mean,
can't go to no funeral.
yeah, I got TV to watch. So, without really thinking, I just blurted out, "Sorry, Karen, I can't make it. I'm busy that day." She looked at me like I just slapped her with a cold fish. I don't want to be a cold fish, but busy? Yeah, busy? She asked, her voice dripping with disbelief. You can't be too busy for a friend's funeral. Now,
But you're
Karen,
not dead.
right. So now Karen has been giving me the cold shoulder ever since, and our other coworkers are split. Some think I'm heartless jerk for not going along with her bizarre funeral dress rehearsal, while others think she's completely off her rocker for expecting people to actually attend this thing. So, am I the asshole for telling my very much alive coworker I can't attend her self-planned preemptive funeral because I'm busy watching Netflix?
Netflix and chill.
Right?
No. First of all, I mean, that's very kind of morbid and weird.
Right.
You're having this. I mean, it could be called a celebration of life, party. And but to plan it for yourself is kind of strange again. Um and yeah, I already have plans. Sorry. You're not dead, by the way.
Right.
I'm on the fence with it. I mean, yeah, if I have plans, I have plans. I'm not changing my plans. Sorry.
Even if your
Die on
plans are
another day.
watching TV and eating pizza?
Yeah, heck yeah. Who's gonna give up pizza and Netflix?
Right.
Crazy?
I don't. Like A, it sounds very narcissistic. This person sounds very narcissistic to plan like a party for themselves. And I'm just like
Right.
picturing them in there in like a casket, like, okay, everyone, tell me what you think about me. I'm dead, kind of thing. It's like,
Okay, and so she's making everybody say something. You're forcing people to talk about you in front of you, but it
yeah.
has to be positive. I'm like, no, girl, this like, no, you ain't about to cut me. No, I don't. It's kind of weird. I
Mhm.
mean, like I say, even for me, it's like even birthday celebrations are weird.
Yeah.
I, you know, it's okay. It's fine to do a celebration of life or you're just hanging out with your friends, but why does it have to be a theme, and especially a death theme? You know, and so now when you die, we don't have to have a funeral. We could just, toss you out
Right.
because we've already had the party, so you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm like, I was just at her funeral last week. Like, I'm good.
I was just, yeah, so I'm not doing it again.
Right. How many times is this bitch gonna die? I mean, my God.
Exactly. Right. How many times? No, I'm not doing it again.
So,
Yeah, that's weird.
so do you have to bring like
That's a
a, do
little weird.
you have to bring like a gift to these things? Like, what's the etiquette? Like,
Again, I mean, I think it's food that you're bringing. I don't think
oh
you're bringing gifts. At least I've
God.
never seen anybody bring a gift. I think you're bringing food. So, in that respect, they could all watch Stranger Things and have their pizza there.
Yeah.
She could do that. She could do that. But to actually, yeah, that's kind of odd, Karen. Kind
They,
of odd.
one commenter, which I really love the response, they said, just contact HR and tell them you're worried about your colleague's mental health and that she's invited you to her
Ooh,
funeral and you're worried she's going to do something drastic before that.
perfect. That is
Uh,
perfect. Yeah. And then she'll be out for a couple of weeks for a mental evaluation,
right.
and you don't have to deal with her.
My other thing is you could tell her that as you walk up to the casket with a pair of pliers and just say, in my family, it's tradition to pull out all the teeth
Pull
and
out
hand out the
teeth.
teeth.
So,
So open
right.
up.
So, open up. I got to get those teeth to distribute it through through the employee roster.
I
Ugh.
call the canine.
Just like, here's one for Bob in inventory. Don't forget to get Katie over there in accounting.
What'd you think about Susie in finance? What tooth should I give her? Were you guys really
I
good
give her
friends
the
or no?
molar. She
Yeah.
was tripping.
She's always eating fish in the break room.
Ugh, gross.
Ugh.
Gross.
Well, on that note, that's all I had for this week.
And I think that's enough. Thank you very much.
No problem. And as always, thank you everyone again for listening, liking, subscribing. Please, it's free to just subscribe. So head on over to
Just
the
a click.
YouTubes. Yeah. Head on over to the YouTubes. Give us a little subscribe. But yeah, thank you again, everyone. Anything else to take us out on, Franklin?
No, just keep your teeth in your mouth.
And I better get a
Don't
front
distribute them.
tooth when you go.
Oh, you're getting a molar.
Aw. And on that note, bye.
Bye.